And we're back, and it seems that everyone wants me to leave the voice acting for the characters on, so I'm going to do that. I finally found it. This place is the set. Flying Fish Manor. What was that sound effect? There's such a big difference between its appearance and its name. It's like giving a tough-looking Japanese tosa name like Lily. At least call a Maison du Flying Fish or something. That's why even though I looked everywhere, I still couldn't find it. Because I thought, it's not this place, I completely ruled it out and then walked around this area. Even now I still can't believe it, so I'll check the sign one more time. Flying Fish Manor, there's no doubt about it. Even so, I'm still not entirely convinced. I mean, I know a lot about this place. It's an old European-style building on the shore of the lake, and because its appearance is a little spooky, when we were kids we called this building the Witch's Mansion. As a test of courage, we would often sneak into the yard. You just thought it was a rich person's residence, but it's a dormitory. Waifu Private Academy student dormitory. I can't just stand here in shock. Okay. I took a deep breath and stood up straight. Oh, that's a pretty place. May I come in? What is this? What is this? What is this angle? Ugh. Suddenly a girl in her underwear appeared before me, and the expression that I had tried so hard to straighten out crumbled instantly. Why? She's the one who should be worried about having been seen, but why am I the one feeling under pressure? From inside, the other girl, this one was wearing clothes, showed her face, but when she saw me, she let out an unhysteric scream. It should be a hysteric scream. At the same time, the glasses she was wearing looked like they were about to slip off. Took a second for her voice to load, and I thought she didn't have one for a second. Another girl appeared. What do you mean naked body? She's wearing clothes. She's wearing a lot of clothes. She's just... Yeah, that's the same thing that people wear when they, like, just wear a dress. What? No, that's not it. Just like receiving salvation from God, my cell phone rang. The word Mom was shown on the display. Excuse me a minute. Quickly press the button to answer the call while swiftly escaping outside. Mom. Well, the place is full of girls. I saw one in her underwear. Yeah? I had checked the sign over and over, but then I noticed some small writing in the corner. Girls' dormitory. Ah, this is a girls' dormitory. Did you do this on purpose? What is this? What kind of mother are you? From now on, I'm going to be this place's dorm mother, aren't I? Just now they were screaming at the top of their lungs. Oh, that damn mother of mine, she's enjoying this situation. The front door opened slightly and the girls from just now are peeking through. I called out to them like a surprised turtle. They pulled their faces back inside and shut the door. Oh, what should I do about this? Well, this is the situation.
じゃああなたが新しい寮母さんなんだ。
While I was explaining the situation, the Borden students, apart from the girl in her underwear, who was putting on some clothes, surrounded me but kept their distance, and... This is no good, is it? A boy being the dorm mother of a girl's dormitory.
いいんじゃないの?
From behind the underwear girl, she was wearing clothes by now. Clothes now, but they were pretty gaudy. What do you mean they're pretty gaudy? What does that even mean? Were some girls who looked like they were hiding, but they were nodding and agreeing.
誰か来てくれないともっと困るから。
そうなのよね。でももっと年配の人だとばかり思ってて。
はい。
Incidentally, there is now one more person than before. He was kind of timid and looked to be the same age, or maybe a year younger than me. What is it?
葵くんって言ったっけ？年はいくつ？
I'm still a student. From tomorrow I'll be going to Keifu Academy. I'm a second year.
へえ、じゃあ年下なんだ。似合う。
Hee hee, she said. What do you mean, hee hee? The person who came to speak to all of you is my mother, and well, she kind of half-tricked me into accepting this job as a dorm mother. My mom has a job connected to real estate, and her company manages this property.
ですって。どうします、ゆかさん。チェンジします？
そういう事情なら。
The person who seemed the oldest said so, and the other people reluctantly nodded in agreement. This is just until the owner caretaker comes back, or we find someone else. I apologize for the inconvenience, but for the time being, let's all try to get along. Once the conversation was over, naturally everyone left and went back to their rooms.
いやー、なんかごめんね。みんなおぼこい娘さんたちのもんで、若い男を前にして舞い上がっちゃってんのよ。私はしぐれかな子。なんかあったら私に言ってちょうだい。管理人さんの部屋は1階の廊下の突き当たりよ。
Thank you very much. Was that all the Borden students? There's the underwear girl, Kanako, who is with me now. Yuka, the tall girl with the long hair, and Sana, the girl with the glasses. The timid one who came from the back is Ryoko. I don't know how you know that name. I don't know how you know any of the other ones' names, because they never mentioned them, but okay. That's 4 people altogether.
ああ、もう一人いるんだけど、いわゆる引きこもりというやつで。
Really, that shy girl seemed like a reclusive type.
そのうち出てくるんじゃないかな。
Oh. In other words, there are 5 boarders in total. This building is pretty big, but there are only 5 people living here? Come to think of it, my mom did say that there was quite a few empty rooms. It's holding a little far from the school, so maybe it's not that popular. Well, maybe it's just too expensive to stay here, because look at this place.
汗かいちゃったから、もう一回お風呂入ってこよっと。
Anyway, the conversation ended well, so I'll call my mother to let her know. So in the end, we somehow worked things out.
それは良かったわ。言っておくけど、寮の子に手出しちゃダメよ。
What are you talking about, Mom?
まあ、問題にならない程度ならいいけど。あ、それから、前に言ったと思うけど、一人足の不自由な子がいるから。
Flap, flap, flap. Suddenly the sound of flapping wings came from down the hallway. Then a shrill sound. Is it going to be a quack?
待ちなさい、ハ
Oh no, it was her.
ト。わあ。
There's the quack. Huh? Something big and white came flying down the hallway, and behind it at breakneck speed was the girl in the wheelchair.
待て、このバカアヒル！私のパンツ返しなさい！
Are we playing soccer, Spirit?
わわわ。
The big white thing, which somehow seemed like a duck, was flapping its wings and flew behind me. The girl in the wheelchair avoided all the obstacles in her path, in other words, me, and chased down the duck like a drift racer. I was so overwhelmed by the speed that I couldn't say anything.
捕まえたわよ、ハト。
The girl in the wheelchair caught the duck at my feet and snatched away a small white cloth, possibly panties, from its beak.
まったくあんたはいたずらばっかりして、今度やったら北京ダックにしてやるんだから。
The girl put the duck on her knee and lectured him. I remembered seeing that before. However, somehow a lot different compared to the image she had during the day. In the daytime, she seemed more dainty and delicate. However, her appearance was the same. It's not often that you see such a pretty girl. Looks like your tire is in good condition.
Huh?
She finally realized that there was a guy standing there.
もしもし葵、聞いてるの？
Yeah, what was it?
足が不自由な子がいるから面倒見てあげてねって話よ。
Sure, I got it. Okay, talk to you soon, Mom. I replied as I ended the call.
どうしてあなたがここに？
Didn't even wait for your mom to say bye. She got as far as saying that, but then realized that she has a small cloth in her hand and tried to hide it by stuffing it under her backside.
なんでここにいるの？新しい寮母さんだよ、小鳥ちゃん。
Kanako, who was supposed to be taking a bath, poked her head out.
はい？何よそれ、聞いてないんですけど。いようにも小鳥ちゃん、めったに部屋から出てこないんだもん。新しい寮母って男の子じゃない。
Hey, look, hey, look. Is what I felt like she was saying as she relentlessly pointed at me.
そのやりとりはうちらはるか昔に通過したから。
The girl known as Kotoi glared at Kanako like she was interfering. I'm the new dorm mother, Aoi Minase.
ハバネ小鳥です。
Kotoi seemed to meet my introduction with reluctance.
この子はハト。ってもう知ってるわよね。
Why are her chat portraits like always so close? Hat turned to face me and flapped his wings. He's a clever duck.
本当にあなたが新しい寮母さんなの？
Yes, that's right. So you are against it? She says she doesn't like the fact the dorm mother of girls' dormitory is a guy, or the fact that we're the same age. There's nothing I can do about it. Kotori closes her eyes and quietly takes a deep breath as if trying to focus her mind. Kotori?
昼間のことは忘れて。
During the day, which part?
なるべく全部だけど。そうね。強いて言うなら。
He stopped talking and stared at Kanako, who was standing behind listening. Kanako looked as if she was saying, okay, okay, as she disappeared down the hallway.
この私がついうっかりポロッと泣いちゃったりしたことよ。
Oh. That incident was quite startling, and I remember it well. See a girl's tears from so close like that is something I don't experience very often. I don't know what she thinks about it, but those tears were very beautiful. Oh, okay. It's a weird thing to say. No, not yet.
忘れろ、今すぐ。
Don't be so silly. When you say it like that, it just becomes more strongly engraved in my memory.
あのね、新入りのあなたは知らないだろうけど、私これでも。
Kotoya straightened her back, composed her expression, and smiled. And swish, with a natural gesture, she lifted her hair up.
クールビューティーで通ってるの。
What the hell is an alul? What's a lul?
ビューティーよ。ちょっと言い間違えただけ。
Oh, I've heard that word before.
もう一回言うから、もう一回やらせて。
She said that and then straightened her back and made a composed... what did that say? And made a composed smile again. Okay, that's enough. I get it, alright.
もう、意地悪、揚げ足取り、人手らしい。
Kotoe used just about every insult there is, and then turned her wheelchair around. Then she hurriedly raced back down the hallway and back to her room. Along the way, Hat, who had been thrown off, chased after her and entered the room through a small door, maybe a special door for ducks, built into the bottom of the main door. I looked on in disbelief. I don't need to say this, but the dainty and delicate image that she had in the daytime had completely crumbled away. Delicate bud was beginning to sprout, and we shared a fleeting love. But cool Alul, right? I remember her lifting her hair and being so full of confidence, I feel like I could burst out laughing. She's so funny. In the beginning, everything has been so messed up. From tomorrow onwards, it looks like things will start getting interesting. I really feel that prediction would come true. I really felt. Extend little wings, which fly in the sky highly. Wow, it actually let me read it. So I guess changing that animation thing actually did help with that. My first job as dorm mother. That is to make breakfast for the boarders.
料理上手だね。おかわり。
Who eats rice for breakfast? I guess Japan they eat rice just whenever. If it's available, they'll eat it. It seems. Sure, a big bowl, right?
わかってるね。
Pretty confident in my cooking. Until recently, I was living with my father, who was transferred to the countryside, and every day I helped with housework. I was in charge of. Whoops, hold on. I gotta change the. Alright, there we go. I had to change my locale for this game to Japan, just in case something messes up. I was in charge of preparing the meals, and it's not like I hated cooking or anything. It's one of the reasons why I accepted the job as dorm mother. So the others don't need breakfast, huh? Until now, no one has come to the dining hall. Sometimes there will be someone walking through the hallway in front, but they seem to be sneaking around. Gonna go look towards the hallway, just as the oldest boarder Yuka was peeking in before swiftly dashing off.
もうみんなオフだからね。男の子に免疫がないのよ。
They're acting like they've never seen a boy before. This is like how animals act when they see something that they've never seen before. Kehu is a co-ed school, right?
いくら学校で同じでも寝起きの緩み切ったすっぴんが見られちゃうわけじゃないからね。
Oh. I see. Seems that a guy being the dorm mother of a girls' dormitory will have its problems after all. There's a reason why I accepted the job as dorm mother at Flying Fish Manor. Not long ago, the owner-janitor collapsed. Owner-janitor, huh? Sounds like she was pretty old, and in addition to straining her back, she caught a summer cold, which worsened. The owner soon began looking for a replacement, but it was hard to find one. Then she sought help from the real estate company where my mother works. This is one of the properties that my mom manages, and is an old acquaintance of the owner from decades ago. She nominated me for this job just as I was planning to come back here. On the documents, my mom is the one responsible for this place, but she got me to carry out the practical duties, in other words, the work of the dorm mother. Then, that became a condition for me coming back to this town. As always, she's very crafty, but I wasn't really against the idea, so I accepted. If I had known it was a girls' dormitory, of course I would have refused. This place is old and a little far from the school, but the rent is cheap. The rent is cheap? That place is so, like, fantastic looking. Apart from the food and admin expenses, it costs next to nothing. That's why it would be a big problem for me if I couldn't stay here, and in the worst case scenario, the boarders won't be able to go to school.
ごちそうさん。美味しかった。
Kind of a stack of the dishes on the counter and licked her lips in satisfaction.
ま、みんなそのうち慣れるって。じゃ、行ってきます。
She had eaten it all, not even a single grain of rice was left. To have people enjoy my cooking feels pretty good. I feel deeply relieved, and I'm happy that things are going well. Ah, jeez, I better get ready for school. In the entrance to the dormitory, there was Kotori. She was dressed in her uniform and looked like she was about to go to school. Morning, Kotori.
おはよう。
Are you going to school? Shall we go together?
なんでそうなるの？
Because we're going to the same school. Why? Well,
私の足のことを心配してるなら余計なお世話よ。ふんと。
we're going the same way anyway. She put it bluntly as she quickly went out the front door. I don't have any friends at school, so I was just asking. Oh, looked like we had a strange misunderstanding. Hello? Okay. Wearing my new uniform, I made my way to school. I'm a dorm mother, but also a student of a waifu academy. I mean, this is my real occupation. Today's the first day of my new school. I'm not really the shy type, but I guess I am kind of nervous. I would say that the school I was going to before was a sports-focused, all-boys school. Waifu Academy, the school I'll be going to now, is a co-ed engineering school, and the school traditions are quite different too. As I walked along the streets that lead to school, there are more and more groups of people wearing the same uniform. This is the same area in which I lived 5 years ago. There should be a few people that I know. Most of the people who I'd recognize went on to regular schools. I wonder if the ones who chose to go to Waifu Academy remember me. What year is this? This stuff looks very postmodern. Even if I only get to know one person, it would make a big difference. There'll be more weird misunderstandings with Miss Alul, too. Oh yeah, which school do Yeha and the others go to? They're my childhood friends, who I always played with when I was a kid. There's a Geha, Mabo, Hotao, and Anchan. Out of that group, Geha and Mabo are the same age as me, but we haven't met in 5 years and haven't really stayed in touch. We barely managed to exchange New Year's cards, but that reminds me, in the corner of last year's New Year card, I think there was a small message about which school that we were planning to go to. What did it say? A lot of things happened, or maybe I'm just lazy, but I haven't told anyone apart from Anchan that I'm coming back. To be honest, I'm not even sure how I should act if I met them. What was the point of that transition if you're just, like, talking about that? Okay. Okay, I thought the music just died for no reason. With people like Ageha, she'd probably smash my face in. She'd say, "Why didn't you contact me?" or something. She looked and acted like a real tomboy. When I remember the past, it makes me smile, but... At the intersection leading to school, there was a girl wearing a waifu uniform standing there looking towards me. The other girls that she was walking to school with asked what's up and seemed puzzled as they spoke to her. However, it seemed that the girl couldn't hear them, and she's looking over here at me. Just faintly, her eyes seemed full of surprise. She's pretty cute. Without realizing, I'd stopped walking and was staring at the girl. So a few days ago, I was going to an all-boys school. Instead of a girl on the way to school in her uniform, she was pretty cute too. It caused me to tremble, and perfect is perfectly reasonable.
もしかして、葵?
Yes, it is. Suddenly having someone call my name in such a carefree manner made me feel a little nervous. Who is it?
やっぱり葵だ! 嘘、本当に?
There, she said my name again, and she has such a happy expression on her face. Do I know any girls this cute? No, wait, I've seen this face before. She smiles like this and her eyes sparkle like a little kid's. Is that you, Ageha?
もしかしなくてもアゲハよ。忘れちゃったの？私の顔。
What is that mouth? That looks so weird. Yes, as she briskly moved closer, bringing her face right up to mine. It's definitely Ageha. She's changed a lot, but if I just look at her face, there's no doubt that it's her. Is it really that Ageha?
しつこいな。他にどのアゲハがいるってのよ。正真正銘、本物の姫木アゲハです。
What is it? What is it? Said the other girls as they gathered around in a circle. Ageha turned to face them and introduced me.
この子、水瀬葵くん。転校生よ。サッチンは覚えてるよね。
Sachin replied, "No way, Aoi," as she warmly raised her voice in surprise. When we were in the 4th grade of elementary school, we were in the same class once.
私と葵は幼馴染なの。昔ここに住んでたんだけど、転校してっちゃったのよね。
Girls seemed impressed by Ageha's explanation, and they looked at me with eyes full of expectation. Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Aoi Minase. In front of all these girls in their uniforms, I greeted them with a stern look on my face as I tried to hide my embarrassment. Ageha laughed as she looked on with relish. I never thought I would find myself doing introductions in the street on the way to school like this, so I was totally unprepared. I'll say it again, let me do it again.
背伸びたわね。最初誰かわかんなかったわ。
As she spoke, Ageha was moving her hands around my head to show the difference in height between myself and her. Our bodies were making contact, but she either didn't notice or didn't really mind. I flinched slightly, but the fact that she was so unreserved actually made me feel more comfortable.
昔は私といい勝負だったのに、男の子はずるいな。
Speaking of which, you changed too.
そう？
As she said, "You think so?" She looked at herself. Yeah, you always looked like a boy, so I was surprised to see that you became a girl. Those are my honest thoughts, but I said them in a way that sounded weird. I thought you might find it slightly charming, but...
どうだ、いい女になっただろ。
Gail laughed happily and did a little turn on the spot. Force of her spin made her skirt float around gently. Yeah, it's like you're not really a Geha. Well, Days not really thinking, those thoughts just kind of slipped out.
イエーイ、やったね。
Gail was pleased and did high fives with her friends. Seeing her in high spirits like that felt just like old times. Geha, my best friend during my childhood, hadn't changed in the 5 years that had passed. Her appearance was surprising, though. The lessons on my first day at my new school flew by in the blink of an eye. Between the language and social studies lessons taught in the regular schools were those from a special curriculum. I was still in my second year, so I didn't have many of those classes, but it appeared that when you go into your third and fourth years, the number of them increases. By the way, this is a 5-year school. That's why when walking the hallways, this kind of thing happens. Like, look how futuristic this place looks. Hey, she's pretty. Coming from an all-boys school with its sad customs, I couldn't help my eyes from following the girls as I walked past them.
ほほ。早速女子のチェックですか？
No, that's not it. I just thought that they looked really grown up, that's all.
4年か5年の先輩じゃないかな。
At our age, a gap of 3 or 4 years is pretty big. The students in the upper grades look very mature.
それにね、うちってこの手の専門学校にしては女子の比率が多いんだよ。
Why's that? Without thinking, I really took an interest in that, and Nageha looked at me as if she wanted to call me a pervert.
校舎の建て替えと同時期に女子生徒の受け入れを強化したんだって。
I'd heard about that before I transferred. They increased the number of courses for girls and asked famous designers to make the designs for the new building. It has been said that thanks to that, the ratio of boys and girls is about 50-50, which is one of the selling points of the school. Bearing this in mind, I felt uneasy about choosing the school as the one I would transfer to, but I'd like people to think that it can't be helped because I'm from an all-boys school. By the way, it's now lunchtime. Geha is in the middle of giving me a guided tour of the school building. And this is really an amazing school. The school itself is pretty old. Well, they must have done a lot of work on it. Due to it being a special kind of school, of course it's famous in the local area. Boy, I've known about it too since I was a little kid. The school building has been rebuilt over the last few years, with the renovations divided into several stages, last of which was completed just 1 year ago. It said that was because of the famous designers. The design uses many curved lines, so the appearance is far removed from what is generally associated with the word school. Felt like I had entered some kind of sci-fi setting. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I was thinking this looks like something I'd see in Halo.
設備も最高だよ。冷暖房完備、完全バリアフリーで、どんな人も安心して学校生活が送れます。
Oh, air conditioning. That sounds nice. My school didn't have that. Disabled access. That's right, Miss Alul, I mean Kodoi, should be somewhere in the school.
でもさ、葵、ほんと変わったよね。
Okay, as she walked by my side, was happily murmuring as she looked in my face.
顔とか、昔はもっと可愛らしかったのに、なんかゴツゴツしちゃってさ。
Yeah, same to you. Oh.
ひどっ！私、ゴツゴツなんてしてないもん。
She knew that when I met on the... She knew that when we met on the way to school earlier, I thought she's pretty cute. She'd never let it go, so I'd better keep quiet.
あんちゃんから聞いてなかったら気づかなかったわよ。
Oh, you heard it from Munchin?
そう。葵が帰ってくるってね。
Hold on, I gotta take a drink. Whoops. I hadn't had to read this much in a little while. By the way, I'm in the same class as Agaya. She knew I might be coming as it would. Okay, Okay, I did unmute my mic. She knew that I might be coming as a transfer student, which is why she wasn't that surprised by our chance meeting this morning.
あんたね、帰ってくるなら連絡くらいよこしなさいよね。
Sorry. The reason why we call him Anchan isn't because he's my older brother. I thought that was it. He was our childhood friend, but he was much older than us, so we nicknamed him Anchan. He's not related by blood, but he's just like a real big brother. Yeah, glared at me and said, Jesus. I tried to laugh it off.
昔の私ならアックスボンバーかましてるところよ。
She wouldn't really have hit me. As we talked, we went back to the classroom. Oh my goodness. The classrooms weren't exactly normal either. I feel a little uneasy taking lessons here, but maybe I'll get used to it sometime soon. By the way, there's a girl in a wheelchair in the school, right? Miss Olul, no, I mean she's called Kotori Habane. I asked Kageha as we returned to our seats. I didn't ask what grade she was in, but even if it's not the same, I thought Kageha would at least be aware of her. Kageha reacted like she was being evasive. It wasn't just Kageha, but the other people sitting nearby who had heard our conversation also seemed kind of awkward.
ハバネさんならうちのクラスだよ。今日は来てないみたいだけど。
After Kageha said that, someone added, "You mean today either, don't you?" The way she said that seemed quite harsh. I can't be, I mean... I thought about explaining that she had left the dormitory this morning in her uniform, but I held my tongue. The atmosphere was kind of strange.
ここんとこずっと休んでるんだ。体調が良くないみたいでさ。
Not feeling well. Yesterday she had went out to Windmill Hill, and then later she was chasing that duck around the halls of the dormitory. This morning she left wearing her uniform. She's skipping school. However, more worrying than what Kotoe is up to is the reaction of the others in the class when they heard us talking about her. Even Agaya looked like she had something she wanted to say but couldn't. But I don't really know what the situation is, so I can't say anything.
Oi, Yamamoto! 英語の辞書を貸してくんね?
As the awkwardness started to fade, an optimistic voice called out. From the entrance of the classroom, a carefree-looking guy poked his head in and started speaking to a boy in our class.
お、ちょうどいいところに。おーい、マーボー。
だよ、アゲハ。なんか用か?
The guy known as Mabo came into the classroom.
お前と仲良くしてるとエリちゃんのご機嫌が悪くなんだよ。あれってやっぱジェラシーってやつだよな。
いいからこっち来い。
お、誰これ？転校生？アゲハは見た目結構可愛いけど中身男だから気をつけろ。
Kay and I both looked blankly at him for a moment.
なんだよ。
Long time no see, Mabo.
は
？Why is this transfer student being so buddy-buddy with me, as Faye seemed to say? It's me, have you forgotten me?
俺だよって。え？お前、葵
I looked again, she...
に
Nia? She wanted to surprise him, so it seems like she intentionally didn't tell him. This slightly superficial guy is Masatsugu Tatsuki, or Mabo as we call him. Yeah, I'd rather go with Mabo, because that name is... it's something. He's our childhood friend.
なんで葵がここにいるんだよ。てか、転校生って？え？
あんた驚きすぎ。
そりゃ驚くって。
You seem well, Maba. You've grown pretty big. Masatsugu used to be really small, but now he was about the same size as me. It's not quite like the change in Nage, but in five years that have passed since we were kids, it looks like he's grown to about twice the size.
お前こそ。
We grabbed each other by the right hand. This was instead of a small, quiet greeting.
本当に葵なのかよ。
Yeah, I'm back, Mabo.
おかえり。葵。
This time, bam, he gave me a full-on hug. Hey.
熱い友情ってやつだね。
We were the only ones who thought so, whereas all of the girls around us were totally freaked out.
会いたかったよ。あ。
What?
じゃねえよ、この裏切り者。
Mabo suddenly backed off and thrust his finger at the very end of my nose. What is this all of a sudden?
いきなり出て行ったと思ったらろくに連絡もよこさねえで。俺やアゲハがどんな思いでいたかてめえ知ってるのか。
いやいや、勝手に私を巻き添えにするな。
そのくせよくものこのこと。
I'm sorry, but it's not my fault that I had to move away. If you want to complain, say it to my dad. I thought about writing a letter, but I felt kind of embarrassed. For the most part, the fact that there was no contact was both our faults.
この裏切り者め、俺は絶対許さないかんな。お前なんか嫌いだ、バカバカ。
With saliva flying out of his mouth as he emphasized his words, Mumbo forgot all about borrowing the English dictionary and he stormed out of the classroom.
子供かい。
It wasn't just us, but everyone in the classroom was shocked.
こうなると思って教えてなかったんだけどね。知ってたらあいつ最初から全開であんな感じだっただろうから。
I think that was a correct decision. I want to say thank you. Even though he did seem really upset about it.
あいつ最近彼女ができて調子ついてんのよ。小さい頃は「あおいアゲハ待ってよ」とか言って私らの後にくっついてきてたのにね。大丈夫、すぐ元通りになるって。だってあいつ葵大好きっ子だもん。
Yeah, another trading card. Don't say it like that, it sounds weird.
そうかわいいじゃない。
While we carried on talking, the bell to mark the end end of lunchtime have sounded. Everyone put away their lunchboxes and got ready for the next lesson. Okay, I went back to her seat. She stopped halfway, then walked back. What's up? Again, seemed concerned about those around us and lowered her voice.
なんでハバネさんのこと知ってるのかなって。
But, well, the truth is, my mom asked me to be the dorm mother of a student dormitory. I lowered my voice so that those around us couldn't hear.
寮の管理人？
Kotoi is bored in there.
そうなんだ。
My mom asked me to take good care of Kotoi. Even if she hadn't, I'd be worried about her anyway. As she listened to my explanation, I thought it over. Her expression darkened somehow.
このまま来なくなるんじゃないかってみんな心配してる。あんまり学校が楽しくないみたいなんだ。
Well, I don't blame her. Looked as if she was saying, I can't believe she doesn't enjoy school. You seem to enjoy it.
私？もちろんだよ。だって楽しいじゃない学校。
Gross. I guess. It was still my first day at a new school, but I was enjoying it quite a lot too. Gross.
そっか。そうなんだ。
Whether or not she was convinced by my story, again mumbled something or other as she returned to her seat. After school, I was alone and was wandering around the school building. This is so that I could take a look at some of the club activities. Film, studies, theater club, there's even an RC club. This is, after all, a specialist school. Looking at the playing field from the window in the heat outside, I saw the sports clubs playing. Compared to my school, it's pretty calm. Sports clubs at the school I used to go to are taken so seriously. The sight of training before a match is one of grueling harshness. What do I mean my school? I'm a student at this school now. I'll go take a look. Went down next to the playing field to watch the sports clubs practicing. Before long, I started to feel a little down, so I left. Oh. I thought he was going to meet a girl there. The doctor said that if it's light exercise, it shouldn't be a problem. I tried stomping down strongly with my right foot, and there isn't really any discomfort. There, the baseball club, which was returning from the off-campus running course, entered through the school gates.
あ、水瀬。お前、水瀬だろ?
The one calling me was an old acquaintance. It's you, Takechi. It's been a long
お
time.
前、帰ってきたんだってな。もう部活は決めたのか?
No, not yet. I'm going around taking a look right now.
野球部入れよ。お前ならすぐレギュラーなれるぞ。
When I was a kid, I often played baseball in the park. Some of the guys in the group that were my teammates or on the other team were in the baseball team. I'll think about it. I casually responded, and the baseball members replied, "Come on, join us seriously," as they returned to the playing field. If I could do any physical activities, baseball, in fact, anything would be okay. As I grumbled to myself, I felt that I didn't want to go back to the playing field, so I entered. Oh, okay. I thought I accidentally hit the wrong button. I thought the game closed, but instead I just hit the button that opens Microsoft Paint, because I have a button for that on my keyboard for some reason. As I grumbled to myself, I felt like I didn't want to go back to the playing field, so I entered the path leading to the back of the school. I spent a while walking around the back of the school. It was called the rear garden, but it looked like it hadn't been taken care of at all, and was just an empty space with weeds growing everywhere. In that empty space, there was a garage. Hello, I'm coming in. Looks like no one's here, but I thought I should say something to let them know, just in case. Is this place used for club activities too? Or is it used for lessons? I don't know what they're used for, but there are many tools and parts crammed onto the shelves that cover the walls. Within the center, there is a huge object covered with a sheet. The feeling that had washed over me like a giant wave when I reached a sports club strangely subsided from being here. The tools in the dimly lit garage must have reminded me of the times when I would tinker with my bicycle. What is this used for? It looks like a fuselage. I conceal the sound of my footsteps as I sneak inside the garage. It's pretty spacious. There's a tea set here too. There's no doubt about it, someone was using this place. I get a strange sense of activity. I guess it must be from one of the clubs. Oh, there's someone here. I was so surprised that it felt like my heart was going to jump out. The person over there seemed to not have noticed me at all. I'm not sure if you could call it a drawing board, but as she stared at the plans that were placed there, she was kind of groaning. She's pretty. I'm sorry for letting myself in here. I'll be going now. It's no good she didn't hear me. Her eyes were so serious. As she stared at the plans, then she looked like she was really concentrating. I didn't know what to do, so I just looked at her from the side. Now that I look closely, she's really beautiful. Indeed she is. Oh, why am I staring at her? It's not like she's noticing. I hurriedly looked away. However, it looks as if she still hasn't noticed me, so I took another glimpse. She looks quite mature. Is she a fifth-year? She's so pretty. Koto is pretty too, but this person is different in his mysterious charm. Her name was Mysterious Beauty. She suddenly stood up. I'm sorry. Without thinking, I avert my eyes and apologize, but she's looking straight past me and grabs a big, thick book from the shelf. She flicked through the pages and looked like she had found something before going straight back to her seat. In good spirit, she began swiftly drawing the plans. The pen made a nice swish-swish sound as it ran across the page. The feeling of maturity that she had until now just suddenly changed. When she smiles, all of a sudden she looks more like a kid. As her eyes looked straight at the plans, they looked as though they had crystal clear purity to them. Just like an innocent child, her eyes looked as though she believed that the world is full of wonderful sparkling things. Her hand stopped moving, and got the timing right. Excuse me. She finally noticed me. Even though I unexpectedly appeared like that, she didn't show any sign of caution and still in good spirits smiled as she greeted me. Hi. I thought that I should say something to her, but I couldn't think of what to say after that. Oh, I'm sorry, I just let myself in here. I just transferred here today and I was taking a look at club activities and stumbled in here when I got lost. Got a little carried away and said more than I needed to, but she didn't seem interested at all. She looked at me as if to say yes, and seemed like kind of a blunt way to say it, but she wasn't angry or anything. She has a strange way of speaking. Well, I'm sorry, I'd better go. As I said that, like a total loser, a huge sound echoed around the garage. What's that noise? With a lack of energy in her voice, the beautiful girl before me held her stomach and fell down onto the drawing board. Was that the sound of your stomach just now? We're inside the garage, so the sound echoed like crazy and sounded like a growl of a monster.
服だったことを体が思い出してしまったらしいぞ。
She seemed to sway as she tried to get up, but she didn't have enough energy, so she slumped back down with her cheek on the drawing board. Would you like to eat this? I took some bread out of my bag. I thought I'd get hungry with just a lunchbox, so at lunchtime I bought some melon bread. Her eyes shone as if she were an explorer who had discovered treasure in a cave in some unexplored place.
いいのか？
Go ahead.
ありがとう。
She took the melon bread, opened the wrapper immediately, and bit into the contents. She was getting crumbs everywhere, but really looked like she was enjoying it as she devoured it greedily.
おいしい。おいしい。久しぶりのカロリー摂取だ。
Could that be because she's poor? The fact that she was so ecstatic over something like melon bread actually made me quite worried. She didn't show any signs that she was thinking of my generosity and just ate up the high-calorie melon bread.
おいしかった。
She murmured happily, looking happy as can be. She looked like she was mulling over this taste of the melon bread in her brain.
脳に糖分が染み渡る。
She said as she turned back to the drawing board. Then she started drawing the plans again with incredible energy. From the serious look on her face, it seemed that she had already forgotten about me. Well, she's strange. Not just a little, but very strange. Okay, well, I'll be off now. Perhaps she didn't hear me. I put the melon bread wrapper that she had left behind in my pocket and turned to leave. I reluctantly left the special atmosphere of the garage behind me. Alright, well that's where we're going to end it for now. Oi. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.